If you have been struggling to manifest your desires, then chances are you are probably not aligned and in control of all three planes of existence. There's the physical plane, there's the mental plane, and there's the spiritual plane, right? So in this video, I will talk about how you can gain mastery over the physical plane, right? So when it comes to the physical plane, there are certain characteristics and traits that you need to cultivate if you don't have it. And the first trait you need to have is you need to be a ruthless executor. Now you might have certain tasks that you need to complete, but you don't complete it. You put off the task, you procrastinate, you don't do it, right? The more sooner you complete those tasks that you know will lead to a desired outcome, the more easier it will be for your frequency to materialize into physical reality, right? If you start putting off the task that you know it will lead to your desired reality, then that indicates to the universe, that indicates to your subconscious mind that you don't really need it. You don't really need that desire. You don't really want that desire, right? So the first trait that you need to have is stop procrastination and start cultivating being a ruthless executor. And the next character trait you need to have is you need to have clarity on what you need to do, right? If you don't have clarity on what you need to do, and if you don't have clarity on what you want, then how will you materialize your dream reality? You can't do it, right? You need to know exactly what you want, and you need to know exactly what you need to do in order to get what you want. And once you know what you need to do and what you want, you need to be a rapid executor and just finish the task every day as much as possible, right? And the third trait you need to have is discipline, self-discipline. So you need to be disciplined in your actions. If there are certain habits that you have been following, you need to keep following them. You need to be consistent in it. When you start a task, when you start a thing that you want to do, you need to be consistent and disciplined in doing that. If you start going to the gym, continue going to the gym. Be consistent with it, right? Follow the right timing. Follow one timing every day. If you're not disciplined, if you can't give yourself what you wanted in the past, how will the universe give you what you want, right? So you need to be a rapid executor, finish task on time. You need to have crystal clear clarity on what you need and what you want, and what task you need to do to achieve what you want. And then you need to be disciplined, right? I don't need to explain what discipline is, you know, right? When I ask you, are you a disciplined person? If you say yes, then that means you're good. But if you hesitate or if you think about it, then that means you're probably not a disciplined person, and you need to cultivate discipline as much as possible, right? Now let's talk about environment, right? So there's the physical environment, there's a digital environment, and there are people that you hang out with, right? And to gain control over your physical reality, to gain control, to be aligned in physical reality, you need to be, the environments need to be as conducive as possible towards your goals and dreams, towards your desires, right? Your physical environment, your digital environment, the people you hang out with, all of these do contribute to how much control you have over your reality, right? If these environments are not conducive to your desires, then you will have a hard time in materializing your desires. It will be very hard to manifest what you want, right? So when it comes to the physical environment, the first thing that I look out for my clients or in people in general, they don't have a clean working space, right? How can you expect your mind to be clean? How can you expect to have clear thoughts, clear vision, if you keep your physical environment dirty, ugly? Like, you need to have a clean working space, right? Because a clean environment means a clean mind. If a cluttered environment, that means it is a cluttered mind that you have, right? So be very much disciplined and keep your working space immaculate. Look out at which places you hang out most. If you sit on your desk all day and you work with your laptop or with your desktop, then have a clean working space, have a clean desk. If you cook regularly, then keep a good clean kitchen, right? If you use the fridge, if you use the refrigerator regularly, then make sure you only have the items that is conducive to your goal, and you have a clean environment, you have a clean fridge. So your living environment must be as clean and tidy as possible, because that means you will have a clean mind, your thoughts will be clean, you have a crystal clear clarity on what you need to do, right? The more physical stimuli that is lying around, all of that physical stimuli that you see, it is taking up mental space, right? That is still serving as an obstacle to clear thinking. So the more stimuli, the more physical stimuli that is around you, that doesn't serve your goals, that doesn't serve your dreams, you need to delete it out, you need to clean it out, right? An organized, clean environment is very much important for you to have a clean and clear thinking, right? And if you see a dirty environment, if you see an unorganized, dirty, disgusting environment that you live, if you see that, what do you think subconsciously, right? What identity do you serve? What identity does that serve? What beliefs that serve, right? Just think about it, write it down, journal about it. If you're living with a dirty, unclean, disgusting environment, what does it say about you, right? Think about it. So organize your physical environment, throw out the things that you don't need, or you can even donate it to someone who needs it, right? And when it comes to a digital environment, the first thing I want you to go to is your mail inbox, right? Whether you use Gmail or whatever, go to the mail inbox that you regularly use and just clear it out. Delete everything that doesn't serve your goals and dreams, that doesn't serve you for anything, right? Unsubscribe from all the newsletters that you have been signed up for, but you don't read it, right? Because if you use email, every entrepreneur uses mail regularly, right? So if you use mail regularly, make sure you have a clean environment in your digital space. What about the applications that you have in your phone, in your PC, in your desktop, whatever device that you use? What applications does it have? Does it have any unnecessary applications that you use that you don't use, right? Instagram, I hate Instagram, right? But it was there on my phone, even though I don't use it, it was there on my phone and it served as a distraction. So I deleted it, right? Snapchat, oh my god, I fucking hate that app. People are addicted to a fucking emoji. I don't like it, I deleted it, right? So make sure the only things that are in your devices are the things that is directly conducive towards your goal. If it's not, simply delete it. We don't need it, right? So clean your mail inbox and contacts. If there are any unnecessary contacts in your phone, delete it. You don't need much contacts. Why would you, right? If a call is coming from an unknown number, simply block it or send it straight to voicemail. You don't need to pick it up, right? Apps, I already talked about it. Notifications, oh my god, it's such a killer. Notifications single-handedly can destroy your focus, and we both know how much important your focus is, especially if you're an entrepreneur or a high achiever, right? So delete all the apps that you don't need, and even if for the apps that you do need, accept emergency contacts, accept people who are very close to you, turn off, silence everything notification that can disturb you, that can distract you, right? And files, what unnecessary files do you keep having? What unnecessary media files, photos, videos, PDFs, whatever it may be, delete those. Everything, all things that you have in your physical environment, in your digital environment, they take up your mental space, right? But you can ask me, what that this has to do with manifestation? Everything has to do with manifestation. Everything's energy, right? Everything impacts one another. So simply trust me and do it, and you will see a difference, right? I can go in detail talking about how this impacts your life, but you know this is good. You know this is the right thing to do. So simply do it, right? So gallery files, so delete or organize the files, the things that you have in your devices, right? Now, once we have covered physical environment and digital environment, let's talk about the people you hang out with, right? You can have a clean environment, you can have a clean digital space, but if you still hang out with the people who let you down, who bring you down, then you are not going to manifest your dream reality. Because vibration is contagious. Consciousness, vibration, frequency, whatever you may call it, it is contagious. If you're not careful, other frequency can affect you. It will affect you, especially if you're spending with that particular person for a long time, right? So make sure you delete, avoid, or stop hanging out with negative people, with untrustworthy people, with low vibration people, with NPCs who doesn't have good goals, who doesn't have ambition, who just lives life on autopilot, right? I mean, I know it is hard for you to avoid such people, because if you have been spending your life If you have been spending a long time with these kind of people, then it might be hard for you to completely cut them out, and that won't be respectful as well, but who cares? But if you think that you can't do that, slowly avoid being with those people, right? Gently cut them out of your life. And for these kind of people, when they know that you stop giving attention to these people, they themselves will latch on to another target, right? Especially negative people and low vibration people. Stop hanging out with them. Like, even if these people don't have crazy goals or dreams, if they support you, if they wish well for you, then it is good. You can keep them in your life. But if they try to belittle your dreams, if they try to bring you down, if they force you to like live life, party around, drink alcohol, smoke, all those crazy shit, if they ask you to do it, and if they make fun of you for being on self-improvement, for being on this manifestation journey, cut them out. It will serve you good for in the long run. It might be painful at the start, but like it is just a matter of how badly do you want that goal or dream of yours. If you're an entrepreneur, how much is financial freedom worth to you, right? Ask yourself, is it worth for me sacrificing my financial freedom goals just to hang out with that person? Most probably you want financial freedom more than any person in the world, right? So make sure the people that you hang around with, the people that you allow to be in your life, are actually people who support your dreams, who support your goals, who wants good for you, right? So once you have mastered your physical environment, your digital environment, and the people you hang around most with, let's talk about the most important factor in your physical reality, which is your body, right? Your body is the first environment that you need to master. I'm not sure why I didn't put it first, but if you're still watching this video, then I'm glad you do, because this is very, very much important. You can't manifest shit if you're laying sick, if you are not well, right? Health is the foremost important part before any desire, before any dreams, before any goals that you want to manifest. If you're in bad health, if you're not in your optimal health, that should come as a priority, not your goals, not your dreams, right? So the first thing is sleep. Never ever sacrifice sleep. Never, right? Your sleep directly affects every single other part of your life if you don't have good sleep quality. If you're not getting enough sleep, your productivity will get a hit, your clarity will get a hit, your muscles will grow weaker, your bones will grow weaker, you'll have brain fog. I can list on and on about all the severe disadvantages that you will get if you don't prioritize sleep, right? So have a regular sleep schedule. The time you go to sleep and the time you wake up should be consistent every day, right? Even if it's a Sunday, don't give excuses like, oh my god, it's a Sunday, I will sleep more, I will party out. No, your sleep is I can't stress the importance of sleep. I'm no sleep expert, but I do know how it affects me if I don't get enough sleep, right? So for most people, they don't even know the quality of like they can have if they had good sleep, right? Their life cycle is so messed up, their sleep cycle is so messed up that they don't even know that they're not operating in their optimal level, right? They kind of forgot about the quality of life they had as a child when they were having a good sleep cycle, right? So master your sleep. And the next is nutrition. The second most important part of this entire video is taking care of your nutrition. What foods do you eat? Do you drink enough water? I mean, come on, you are not 5-year-olds, you're not children. I don't need to say this, right? So eat good food, avoid ultra processed foods, avoid shit that you know it is bad for you, right? Avoid alcohol, avoid smoking, avoid it as much as possible, because alcohol affects your sleep, smoking kills you literally, so don't do it. And the next is movement. Go to the gym, walk, as simple as that. Nervous system regulation. So either incorporate a breathing practice or meditation or anything that calms you down, that keeps your emotions in check, that maintains your energy levels. This can be meditation, this can be breath work, this can be cold showers. Cold showers is an awesome thing to do. Every day when you wake up, when you take a cold shower, you get a burst of energy, right? So cold showers, meditation, breath work, you can choose either of these three, and that will serve you good. right? Like I'm a manifestation coach. I don't need to go in detail about these, right? So maintain your body as much as possible. Keep it at optimal level, right? And the next is focus. What do you consume every day? What stimuli do you watch? What stimuli do you expose your eyes to? Right? So when it comes to online blogs, posts, videos, movies, TV shows, make sure they are of high frequency, high vibration. Right? Don't watch degenerate shit. Right? Don't watch, you know what I'm talking about, right? Don't watch porn, don't watch videos that affect you, right? Like don't watch movies of ultra violence, don't watch movies that promote scarcity thinking, don't watch movies or TV shows that promote a mediocre life, right? Like for you to be different, if you want to be different, if you don't want to be a part of the 99% of people and you want to reach the top 1%, you need to have a complete overhaul of your life, right? So that means in the physical plane, you need to look out for each and everything you do in the physical plane, in the 3D reality, right? So when it comes to focus, make sure the things that you watch. Don't watch the news. Don't watch any silly drama that happens on YouTube. Don't consume stuff about celebrity gossips. Oh my God, you don't need those, right? Don't fill your mind with shit, literal garbage. Don't do it, right? Who cares about some boxing match that happens between two YouTubers? Don't do it. Only watch content and movies and any stuff that you consume on the internet. Make sure they are of quality. Make sure they are of high vibration, right? Don't think like the masses. If you see someone watching a TV show, if you see someone watching like a boxing match between two YouTubers, just see how their life is. The best way to not be average is not doing the things that an average person does, right? When you're doing something that an average person also does, except essentials like sleep or eating good food, don't do it, right? And the next is habits, right? If you know that habit is bad, then simply don't do it, right? No bad habits that you think is bad. If you think drinking is okay, if you think alcohol is okay, and if you don't feel guilty about it, if you don't feel shameful, then do it. But deep down, when you know that a certain habit is bad, then don't do it, because guilt and shame are the lowest vibrational emotions that you can experience. They affect your frequency a lot, right? So if you know that if you know habit is bad, if you know that an addiction is bad, and you label it as addiction and you feel guilty after doing it, then make sure you put your complete effort and stop that addiction. I have had porn addiction for like 10 years, and it was a battle quitting it. But once I quit it, my life changed for the better. My life improved significantly, right? So if you want me to do a video on addiction, I can do it. Simply comment it down and I will do it, right? Especially when it comes to X addiction. You know what I'm talking about, right? So make sure you don't do the bad habits that you know it is bad. And then deal with addictions. If you have a phone addiction, if you have X addiction, if you have any of the addictions, drugs, alcohol, make sure deal with it, because if you don't deal with it and if you let it affect your frequency, you won't get what you want. You won't materialize, you won't manifest your desires, right? And the next and final part is routine. Have a good routine, right? Make sure that the routine you follow every day directly corresponds to the goals that you have, right? If you want to become a great YouTuber, or if you want to drive traffic to your offer, then make sure you record videos every day, like how I am doing, right? So make sure that your routine is directly conducive to the goals that you have. And the next is financial literacy, right? Money is still a thing of physical reality, right? So you need to know how to make money and how to keep money, right? So if you're spending money on unnecessary shit, and if you don't have money, and if you have bad spending habits, then how much ever money that you manifest, it's going to go away. If it's not going to sustain, right? So make sure you have good financial literacy and you have good communication skills as well, because most of the time, I mean all the time, if you want to make money, if you want to have more love, you need to have good communication skills, right? You need to know how to talk to someone. You need to know how to speak with charisma. right? So there are a lot of things about communication that you need to know, that you need to practice, right? Because communication can take you to a whole another level, right? Because all for you to make other people do what you want, you need to know good communication and persuading skills. And if you're an entrepreneur, then I don't need to tell you how important sales is, right? And space and sales comes from communication. So having good communication skills can be very beneficial to you. It's not as essential as the other things that I've talked about, but it can still help you manifest your desires, right? And the next is time mastery. Even though we can talk about it, we can talk about how time is an illusion. The only moment exists is the present moment. We can talk about it all, but still, time is a thing that we follow. You still have finite time on this planet, so make sure you know how to manage your time, right? Because you still need to take action, right? You still need to be a ruthless executor. So for you to be a ruthless executor, you need to make time to do the tasks that you know you need to do, right? So make sure you manage your time as well. And if you do all of this properly, I mean, you can't completely overhaul your life in one day, but small consistent changes around these things will improve you a lot, right? So that's it from me. Make sure you follow all of this and comment down what struggles you have, what problems you face, and I'll make sure I will make a video around this particular problems that you face, right? And in the upcoming videos, I will talk about the mental plane and the spiritual plane, and in the final fourth video, I will talk about how you can integrate all of these learnings into your daily life, right? So make sure you're tuned in for that as well. Subscribe if you want, or don't, but this information will literally change your life, right? So, and I don't have enough traffic on my channel, so if you comment down below about your problems, the more chances I have to see your comment and make a video around it. And I post videos every day, so comment down your problems, and if you have any doubts about this particular training, you can comment it down as well, and I will make sure to reply. And I also have my free abundance course listed in the description. Make sure to check out that link and join my free community. Access that abundance course. It is great. Let me just tell you that. And that's it. I will see you in another video.